Hey guys, welcome back to San Diego Comic-Con 2018. I'm at the War Machine booth with
Roh Kohli from War Machine Marketing.
look at all this cool stuff. So we have a lot of amazing toys here.
Thank you very much.
I am, first of all, I love the female Freddy.
Oh, that's my wife.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
She's okay with that?
Oh, that's her favorite character.
That's
That's her favorite. She actually has 3 action figures of herself. Or to my lonely one. Go figure.
Wow, she get more.
I
You need to like keep up.
don't know it.
So I'm also a big fan of your Pantera Mimi Guitars.
Thank you.
And I guess they're brand new for this convention, correct?
Yes, they are.
And they were only limited to here, right?
Yes, they are. Currently, the response has been so insanely overwhelming that we're actually talking about possibly doing a second run for New York Comic Con.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have they, I guess you've been selling via raffle?
We started off doing it as a raffle. Yesterday was preview night, so people were kind of running around getting their own stuff. But we kind of got to a point where we're like, the raffles are cool, but we want people to have an even chance of getting them.
Right.
So, yeah. So we want people to have an even chance of getting them. That's really what it was. We didn't want people to just kind of swarm the booth first thing and, then nobody else has a chance. So, yeah, so we wanted to do it as a raffle.
That's amazing. How long did it take to create that?
We've been working on that since about January is when I came up with the idea. Because basically the company that we partnered with is called Axe Heaven. So they do replica guitars for Van Halen and Slayer and Johnny Cash and a ton of different huge names. And they've actually done them for Dimebag Darrell, but they did his basic, the guitars that he played on stage.
Right.
So my thing was, I was thinking, how do we do something a little bit different, and something that isn't focused just on one member of the band. I'm a huge Pantera fan. I toured on Ozfest with them, and I've seen them since I was 16. And so I was like, with everything that was going on with them, and kind of the internal strife with the band and everything, I wanted to do something that celebrated the band as a whole, and not only the band as a whole, but just the time when they were together and they were this force to be reckoned with, this lightning in a bottle, and I wanted to do something that encapsulated that. So like the album art is so iconic. So I was like, you know what? Nobody's put the album art on Dimebag Darrell's guitar models, on these Dean models. So I know that when I see the cover of Vulgar Display of Power or Far Beyond Driven, it takes me back to a certain place. When I first heard Vulgar, when I was in college, me and my buddy Craig Mathis, we walked 10 miles to a store called Nobody Beats the Wiz to buy Far Beyond Driven. And the funny thing is, we bought it, and we didn't think to have a CD player with us, like a CD Walkman. We didn't. So we just walked back reading the liner notes, and whenever me and him talk about it, when I see the cover, I think about that walk and just how much it, like, me and him bonded and all. So, and I know that a lot of people have, like, maybe not similar experiences, but experiences like
There's
that.
things that like trigger certain good memories, like for me it's Archie comics.
Exactly.
So
the first time you saw Star Wars, that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's something a lot of us can relate to in that.
Exactly.
And I think it's awesome that you do so many other toys as well, not just the guitar.
Yeah. So we do custom Funko Pops, which we also have as exclusives this year. So we did a couple of those. This is our first foray into the exclusive pop world, because same thing. It's there's so many people here that sell pops, myself included.
Right.
And so my thing is, what can we do to just kind of be a little bit a part of it, a little bit apart from the pack, rather. Kind of beat to the, march to the beat of our own drummer, and do something that people can still feel really passionate about, but not make 5,000, 20,000. The term exclusive, in my opinion, as much as I love exclusives, the term exclusive has become stretched. Considerably, especially at a convention like San Diego. There's exclusives for this and exclusives for that, limited to 5,000, 20,000, 8, whatever it might be. So our thing is, how do we make people feel very special? Because if everyone's special, then nobody's special.
Right.
So if people can really feel like they got this one piece that is theirs, it gives them that same experiential, that same visceral experience.
Sure.
You know, that's the same thing with the custom action figures.
So do you make custom action figures for people?
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
So what we do is we do custom action figures. We can do several different kinds of custom action figures. We can actually do action figures of people. We can do custom action figures of characters that have never existed.
We're big Rick and Morty fans.
Oh, excellent. Oh, absolutely. That was one of the ones that I really loved doing because I wanted to do a realistic version of Rick and Morty. Because all the versions they have are, you know, the Cartoon Network, the Adult Swim version, the big bulging eyes. And I was like, well, what if it was more like a G.I. Joe guy in a way, a little bit more realistic looking, as opposed to cartoony looking. You know, so that's why we want to do more like anime and stuff like that, because it'll give them a more real world vibe, as opposed to this very hyper realistic anime lightning hair kind of vibe. You know, we want to really give people this feeling of like, okay, well, what is it like in the real world? And the beauty of our custom figures is there's no 3D printing, there's no molds, and there's no casting. So everything is hand done, hand painted, with 10 to 14 points of articulation.
Oh, wow.
10 to 14 points of articulation. Removable weapons, removable accessories. You know, we want to make sure that, you know, the accessories come off.
That's so cool.
This is actually my figure. You can tell probably by the hair.
Yeah.
You know, but the lightsaber comes off. I could put guns. Well, actually, we changed this up a little bit, but like normally I used to have a holster. So we're all about holsters and scabbards and you know, just places you can put knives and weapons. You know, that's what we really wanted to go for is that kind of vibe. Because so many action figures nowadays, you know, they'll have you know, like a Han Solo action figure will have his gun and it'll have the holster, but it's sealed in. And I was always a big fan of just, you know, putting them in the actual holster. So that's really what we wanted to do with this. Like, for instance, that's our Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly. And as you can tell, his gun is in his holster. But it does come out. Boom.
Oh, that's so neat.
So we're all about that. We're about removable accessories. We're about just things of that nature. Excuse me, buddy. Excuse me. So we're all about that kind of stuff. And one of the other things we can do, we can actually take figures that have 5 points of articulation, just the ones that kind of move like this, and we can actually give them articulation. So this Lando that's down here, he's a 5-point articulation figure. Same thing. We love action figures. To me, this is an action. As much as I love vintage Star Wars figures, you know, like we actually just did a Praetorian Guard from The Last Jedi, and we have actually we're going to be putting it out today, to be honest with you. And he's got fully articulated, but Hasbro didn't make it fully articulated. You know, so to me, it's like, you know, I watched the movie the other night. That doesn't really simulate, you know, kind of what happened in the movie. You know, so we want to give them a way to really be playable. That's why we like doing the 3.75-inch scale, because they're more versatile. You can put yourself in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon if you want to, and put your hands on the controllers and really feel a part of it. The other thing we started doing is we do custom Predators, which are really nice, which I really enjoy. But we can also do custom packaging now too. So, it gets better and better. So I'll put this down here for a second. Put this down here. So if you're going to make a custom action figure, our theory is, why have to buy 2 of them? One to open, one to keep in the package and all that. So what we did was we started making removable blisters. So you can take it out, you can play with it, you can display it, you can do whatever you want with it, put it right back in, snap it shut, and then it's back to being mint. So what we call it is toyetic art, because it's literally playable art. So when you take it out, it's playable, it's a toy, you can have fun with it, but then when you're done with it, you can put it right back into our little star case or an acrylic case, and it goes right back to being art.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's kind of how we like doing it, and all of these are completely unique.
Yeah.
That's why we don't want to go into 3D printing. We don't want to go into molds and casting. We don't want to mass produce, because if, you know, somebody who's cosplaying around here, I just saw a stormtrooper or whatever, you know, if he hires us to make him as a stormtrooper, we want his figure to be as unique as he is. You know, we don't want him to just be TK8752.
Right.
You know, we want it to be, you know, Bob Jackson in his Stormtrooper outfit. You know, again, the exclusive context is what's more exclusive than one of you know, and you're a unique person. The action figure of you should be just as unique as you are, with the same unique attributes. And that's what we really wanted to capture with this. We wanted to make something that people can really look at and go, I'm the only one who owns this. You know, before we make it, it's never existed, and after we make it, it will never exist just like it. Even if we make 5 of them, they'll all be inherently a little bit different. Thank you.
I like that they're unique, like individual person.
That's exactly it.
You should be celebrating you and your uniqueness.
That's exactly it. It's essentially, in a weird way, another kind of fingerprint. You know, like I look at it like, you know, if somebody gets laid off, you know, you can't be like, hey, I call Bill's action figure. Like, no, Bill's gonna take his action figure with him wherever he goes.
Right.
Because that is a part of him now. You know? And we can also do mashups too. So if you want to be a Boba Fett Wolverine or we've done Doctor Who Han Solos. We've done Joker Darth Vader. We've done we did a Green Power Ranger Boba Fett. You know, so we've done so many different ones. We've done figures nobody's ever created. We did the very first Dark Helmet action figure from Spaceballs. We did the very first Charles Manson action figure for the TV show Aquarius. We did a David Duchovny one for that, and a couple of the cast members. So yeah, we've done Battle Tauntauns, and we've done Borg Stormtroopers. I mean, kind of the list goes on and on.
So you're only limited to your imagination.
Basically, there's a few that we won't do. I like to throw that out there too. We won't make anybody into an alien, not so much like a xenomorph from Aliens, but an actual alien. Like if you want to be Greedo, it's gonna look like Greedo. You know, it's not gonna be like, oh, it's got red hair, it must be you. You know, like. So we prefer to not do that just because we don't feel like it would really capture the integrity of what we're trying to do. We won't make anybody into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle just because it'll basically look like a green G.I. Joe guy, basically, so you still wouldn't be able to really see the attributes. And we won't make anybody into the Incredible Hulk because the Incredible Hulk is a regular person whose face is stretched out and warped. So it's kind of the same thing. If you we put red hair on it, be like, oh look, here's you as the Hulk. Like you'd be like, really? Like that's
so neat.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. You know, so we won't do that. There are certain aliens that we can do, like Romulans, just because they have very human aspects. Klingons have very human aspects. So certain ones we will kind of do, but I mean, if the alien is very, you know, if you want to be the Ood from Doctor Who, it's just not going to really work out.
This has been incredible. Like,
Thank you.
This is amazing. If you guys are here at San Diego, be sure to check out their booth.
Yes.
They're at 1415.
Easy to remember.
Yeah, it's actually a really super easy number. I'm just impressed. So anyway, stop on by here this weekend. Otherwise, where can we find you online?
Oh, we are everywhere, all over social media. War Machine Marketing on Facebook, Instagram. On Instagram, we have War Machine Marketing and WMM Custom Action Figures. And we're on Twitter as well. But yeah, we are all over the place. We've been written up in Forbes. We've gotten all sorts of press on this, and it's been tremendous and amazing. And every single figure that we make for people is, in my opinion, just a really amazing accomplishment. And just there's nothing we love more than seeing it, like seeing people who open it and seeing their face. If you're in Southern California, I will actually hand deliver it to you because I want to see people's faces. We've had people cry. We've had people who will literally just stand silent for a good 10 minutes, just staring at it, just not able to believe what they're looking at, that they are actually their favorite character. And that's a really important thing. Like I said, it's all about the experience for us. You know, we really want to be a part of that experience for people.
I love it. Love everything I hear. So check them out online.